Frankie Freako.
President Munch needs a new concubine.
He's a keeper.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 horror comedy Frankie Freako. The film is written and directed by Steven Kostanski and it stars Connor Sweeney and Christy Wordsworth. Okay, I'm going to give this a shot, trying to explain what this one is about. It focuses on a guy called Connor. Now, I'm presuming this thing is set in the 80s. He's a bit of a, dweeb stroke yuppie, I suppose. He thinks he's living the perfect life with the perfect woman. In actual fact, he's living probably the dullest life ever known to man. And he sees an advert on telly with an advertisement with Frankie Freako, who offers the party of a lifetime, basically. He is tempted by this when his wife goes away. He rings up Frankie Freako and his life will never be the same again because Frankie Freako and his friends cause absolute chaos. They are little gremlin type creatures from another planet or another dimension. All they want to do is party and party hard. All Connor wants to do is get him out of his life and out of his house so he can have his drab, dull life back. Right. What are my thoughts on Frankie Freako? Well, this is from the same guy that brought us Psycho Gorman that came out 2-3 years ago. And that was also a very, very bizarre film. I remember I watched that and reviewed that on the channel. I remember quite enjoying it. It was a bit bizarre, a bit bonkers. And it's quite clear that that is this director's forte. Because let me tell you guys, this film is bizarre beyond belief, but undeniably entertaining. And it's got a real sense of charm to it. It's got, I don't know, there's something about it that kind of triggers your nostalgia, but you're not quite sure what you're nostalgic for, if that makes sense. And it's very, very hard to pinpoint what it is about this film and the kind of this director's taste, I suppose, that kind of triggers something in you. It feels very, very familiar, very comfortable, the place that it's set in. And then it just kind of slaps you across the face with a salmon, as if to say, have that bit of bonkersness. And the film just then escalates into complete bizarre nonsense, really, but in quite a fun and entertaining way. And I'm not going to lie, there was more than a few occasions on this film where I had a bit of a giggle at the humour on display here. So, I mean, some of the humour was how much of a dweeb this Connor was. It was so ridiculous and so pathetic that you couldn't help but laugh at him. But he thought he was awesome. He absolutely thought he was awesome. He thought a good night with his lady was lying next to her holding her hand. I'm not kidding. Watch the film. Yeah. What an absolute dweeb. And so he made me laugh, his character, because he was so out there and so ridiculously dull and vanilla. It was unbelievable. And then you've got Frankie Freako and his friends turn up. And I have to say, I thought the effects involved in bringing them to screen and bringing them to life were very well done. Obviously, it's practical effects. It feels like Jim Henson workshop type stuff. It isn't, but it kind of feels like that. They look ridiculous but fantastic at the same time. There are some also quite impressive effects when Frankie Freako is confronted with a crucifix. I thought that was hilarious. And it just, the effects were very, very good. And then it kind of ramped into a whole new level when he gets sucked into Frankie Freako's dimension or world, whatever you want to call it, and the horrible dictator on their planet gets a hold of them. Trying to kind of explain this film away, yeah, you have to believe me, it isn't easy. And I suppose if you don't like bizarre films with bizarre concepts, then this probably isn't going to be for you. But if if you like the premise of this, if it sounds interesting, then you're probably going to get a little bit of a kick out of this one. If you like Psycho Gorman and how zany and bonkers that film was, you're probably going to appreciate this as well. There are times where you're just watching it with like your jaw open as if to say, what am I watching here? But you can't help it. You can't help but carry on. And there are times in this where you're watching it and thinking, it's just too bizarre for me, this. I'm not sure I'm enjoying it. And then something will happen, you'll let out a little giggle and just think, oh, just go with it. Just watch it. See what happens. And you do. And it makes you chuckle. It's one of those films, it makes you chuckle. There's a lot of effort gone into this to kind of, give us the effects and all that kind of stuff. There's actually a lot of effort gone into the performance by Connor Sweeney to create this almost insultingly dull character that he creates, that is in desperate need of livening up, or some kind of excitement in his life, some kind of risk, and that's not actually an easy performance. I don't think anyway. So if you're looking for something that's a bit bonkers and a bit bizarre, you're going to get a kick out of this one. I'm fairly sure of that one. If you don't like weird films, then just don't bother with this one. I thought it was well made, entertaining, batshit, crazy, but yeah, couldn't really take my eyes off it for the most part. So yeah, I mean, let me know, guys, your thoughts on this one. It's a hard one to actually rate, this one, because it's just so out there and it's just so bizarre, and it's it's something you don't see often, these type of films. There is quite a level of creativity that's gone into this, and this director definitely has got talent, I think, for creating the weird and wonderful type out there movies. I'd be fairly interested to see a studio take a risk on this guy and give him like an half decent budget with a completely bonkers idea. He would probably create something genius, I'm guessing. But yeah, either way, guys, I found this entertaining. Just something kind of holds it back a little bit for me. But yeah, definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen this one already, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this one, and I, of course, will be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon. Thanks for watching.